This is the Kikyo Private Academy, a prestigious high school for dignified, elegant ladies. But that elegance has its limits, and that limit is the school next door. Meet Chidori High, a public school seen as its polar opposite. Everyone in town just writes them off as a bunch of delinquents and idiots with no future. The girls from Kikyo despise them, and the guys, oh they know, they get that vibe loud and clear every single day. So let's meet our guy Rintaro. With his bleached blonde hair and an intimidating stare, he looks every bit the Chidori delinquent. Behind those curtains is a world I will never come in contact with.
Are you sure?
This is Kaoru, one of Kikyo's top students, and she loves sweets. And as luck or fate would have it, her favorite cake shop in the entire city happens to be run by Rintaro's family. And their first meeting is a total disaster. She gets scared and runs away, or at least that's what Rintaro thought. See, Rintaro has been judged for his looks his entire life, so for him, this was just a normal day. But what happened the next night was something he couldn't have imagined in 1,000 years. Kaoru comes back to the store, finds him, and apologizes for leaving so suddenly. And then she explains the real reason she ran. It wasn't that she was scared, it was because he made her heart race. This is the first time anyone has seen past his intimidating looks, but the problem with looking like a delinquent is that you make enemies. And sometimes those enemies decide the best way to get to you is by going after the people you care about. So Kaoru leaves the store, and as Rintaro is processing what just happened, his mom barges into his room with a worried face, as if something really bad happened. Which it did. The same two guys who ran away from Rintaro the other day have now cornered Kaoru to get back at him. They ask if he's her boyfriend, and she tells the truth. Hearing this, they start running their mouths about Rintaro being a terrifying delinquent, and when Kaoru defends him, they get real pissed off, so they just swing at her. But Rintaro is already there. He takes the punch and protects Kaoru. Okay, this is where I'm gonna stop just recapping the plot, because what makes this show so incredible isn't just what happens, but the lessons behind it. The whole show is built on this wall of prejudice between the perfect Kikyo girls and the idiot Chidori boys. Rintaro has been judged for his looks for so long that he's completely internalized it. He expects everyone to see him as a problem. We see this the night after he found out Kaoru was a Kikyo student. Things were going well, but Rintaro's insecurity got the best of him. He admits out loud that he was worried she would stop coming around once she found out he was from Chidori. He's projecting all his fears onto her, assuming she's just as shallow as everyone else, and that's what gets her upset. Not that he's from Chidori, but that he would think so little of her. But in what becomes the core theme of the anime,
What the fuck?
they don't let this misunderstanding last. The very next morning, Rintaro finds her and gives a sincere apology. They talk it out and they move on. No drama, just maturity. Think about almost any romance anime you've ever seen. What's the fastest way to create drama? You introduce a rival. Usually, it's a protective best friend or a secret admirer who exists only to create jealousy and misunderstandings. Well, the Fragrant Flower sets up this exact situation with Kaoru's best friend, Subaru, and then shatters it. Because this show has a wild concept. What if friends actually acted like friends? Instead of creating drama, they shut it down with honesty and support. Subaru genuinely hates men, especially idiots from Chidori, so naturally her guard rises when she sees Rintaro and Kaoru together. But as time passes and she actually gives him a chance and realizes that Kaoru has developed feelings for him, her attitude changes. Rintaro's friend group go through something similar. Since Rintaro is so used to hiding in his shell, he doesn't tell them about Kaoru, but people notice when you're happy, and a change that big doesn't go unseen for long. This is where a lesser story would create a huge dramatic fight. At first, it seems to be heading that way. His friends confront him, feeling distant and hurt, as if he doesn't trust them enough to share what's going on in his life. But instead of letting that argument blow up their friendship, they do what this show does the best. They talk it out, giving him the one thing he never expected, a safe space to be himself, without judgment. Alright, enough with the lovey-dovey. Can we just appreciate ClowerWorks for how ridiculously good the animation is? The character designs are expressive, the backgrounds are soft and detailed, the food looks amazing, and the fish...
Huh?
Wait, why the fuck is this dolphin show animated better than One Punch Man Season 2? And okay, jokes aside, that's where the studio really shines. their visual storytelling, especially when it comes to showing us what's happening inside these characters. Remembering a heartfelt moment, beginning to mentally heal, being consumed by your guilt and getting rid of it. You can see and even feel all of these happening without a single line of inner monologue. The beautiful animation isn't just telling a story, it's showing us what healing looks like, one frame at a time. If you take one thing away from this video, I hope it's that you will give this anime a watch, because I feel like we live in a time where it's just so easy to give up on each other, so easy to jump to conclusions. We see one bad first impression, one awkward conversation, one misunderstanding, and we build a wall. We write people off because it's actually easier than trying to understand what the other person is thinking or feeling. We don't listen, but this show is a beautiful reminder of the power of just taking a breath, of choosing to listen instead of reacting, of having the humility to apologize when you're wrong, and the grace to support a friend when they're trying to do the same. So maybe the real takeaway here isn't just about an anime. Maybe it's a small challenge for all of us to try, even when it's hard, to not just hear each other, but to truly listen. Because the connections we build when we stop judging and start listening, those are the ones that are real.